What is up YouTube, Dr. Waji here and welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming at you with a video on 5 reasons why PLAB2 visas get rejected. Now before we begin, let me just tell you that I am not a lawyer or an immigration expert, but I am just someone that went through the process, and these are 5 of the most common mistakes I saw people making when they applied for their visas. So let's get into it. The first mistake would be applying for the wrong kind of visa. How does that even happen? Well, people think that I'll mostly just be studying during my PLAB2 academy, and after the academy I'll basically just be studying on my own, and when I take the exam, well, that's part of my education, right? So the kind of visa that I need to apply for is a student visa. Wrong. Okay, you do not need to apply for a student visa, because in order to apply for a student visa, you need to be offered a place on a course by a licensed student sponsor. Guys, these PLAB2 academies are not licensed to sponsor you to come to the UK. And therefore, your visa application would get rejected if you try to come to the UK to take the PLAB2 exam on a student visa. Instead, the visa that you should be applying for is a standard visitor visa. Once you filled out the online application form, it's going to look something like this. Your type of visa would be a standard visitor visa, and the duration of the visa would be 6 months. All right, let's move on to the next one. So the second most common mistake I see people making is writing down a wrong reason for visit, an incorrect purpose of visit. Now, what happens is people figure that, oh, well, I'll be attending a PLAB2 academy, therefore I'll be visiting a company or organization, and that is the main reason for my visit. Well, wrong again. Others think that, well, the main reason is to take the PLAB2 exam, but I'll also be visiting my family, or going for some tourism, and guess what? That's wrong again. So in your online application form, you'll be prompted to answer a few questions. So you'll be asked, what is the main reason for the visit to the UK? And you have to select business over here. Okay, business including sports and entertainment. This should be something like a drop-down menu, so just pick that one out. Okay, the next question, are you traveling as part of a group, organized group? No, you are not. Some people register for an academy in a group of 5 and they assume, well, that means I'm traveling in an organized group. No, it doesn't. It does not mean you're traveling in an organized group. The answer to this would be no. Are you traveling with someone other than your spouse, partner, dependent? Well, at the time I wasn't, so I went with no. And will you be visiting a company or organization in the UK? Again, a lot of candidates answer this wrong, guys. The answer is no. Even if you're attending a PLAB2 academy, the answer is no, because it is not an accredited institution. It is not licensed to give you a degree, qualification, sponsor you. So that's what they mean when they say, are you visiting a company or organization? Are you visiting an accredited institution? And the answer to that is no. And finally, what is the main reason for your business visit to the UK? Easy to answer. In the drop-down menu, it is to take the PLAB test. Now, the third most common mistake that I see people making when they're applying for a visa is that they give uncertain itineraries. So as part of your online application, you will be prompted to provide details of the main purpose of your visit and anything else you plan to do on your trip. So be very truthful when you answer this, and be very precise. The main reason for your visit is to take the PLAB2 exam, and mention the date on which you're going to be taking the exam. Now, if you're someone that's attending a PLAB2 academy, then do mention the start date and the end date of your academy, and after that mention that you'll be studying on your own or practicing on the mannequins until your PLAB2 exam. Another way to really strengthen your application is to write a very detailed cover letter. Make sure to mention all the dates, including the day you're going to arrive, the day you're going to start your academy, the day you're going to give your exam, the day you're going to leave. Just be very, very precise in writing a cover letter. Spare no expense, spare no detail. Really go at it with your cover letter. And that'll really strengthen your visa application. Right. So the next most common mistake that I see people making is providing an improper financial history. Now, this can be a real doozy. So what happens is, let's say your PLAB2 journey is going to cost you something, right? So for example, it costs you £2,000. Now you're going to have to provide the Home Office with your bank statements to show that you have the sufficient funds. So for example, if your trip is going to cost you £2,000 but you only have £1,500 in your bank, then your application will be rejected because of inadequate funds. There's a gray area over here as well. Some people have saved just enough money to meet their expenses for the journey. For example, if your journey is going to cost you £2,000, then they have saved up £2,000 in their bank account. However, their visa still ends up getting rejected. The reason for that is because you just have £2,000 saved up as your life savings. If you spend all of that money, then you're broke, and that's not something that the Home Office wants you to be. They don't want to put you out on the street. So you need to have more than what your journey is going to cost. And this brings us to the third mistake, which is depositing large sums of cash right before your visa application. Now, what I've read online is that generally people that are depositing large sums of cash right before a visa application are involved in something shady or something illegal. And you do not want to be confused for those kinds of people, because if the Home Office thinks that you're involved in something like that, boom, rejected. Your visa application won't go that far. So make sure that you have a steady cash flow in your bank account for at least 6 months and that everything is legit. An easy way to go about it is to get yourself a financial sponsor. In my case, it was my dad. Most people do this. They'll get a family member to pay for their entire PLAB2 journey. The caveat is that your sponsor should show at least 3 times the amount of money that's going to cost you throughout the journey. So if your journey is going to cost you a total of £2,000 there, then your sponsor should show at least £6,000 in the bank. Now, for those of you that don't have a sponsor, you can save up enough money, but this might take you up to a year or even more than that, and you're going to have to save at least 3 times the amount of your PLAB2 journey. So if it's like a £2,000 journey, then you're going to have to save up at least £6,000 before you can apply. Right. And the final mistake I see people making is that they do not submit the relevant documents. Guys, you need to give evidence for everything you're stating in your application. If you're staying at an Airbnb, you gotta show them the receipt. If you're staying at a home of an extended family member, then you have to show the invitation letter from that person. If you're taking a PLAB2 academy, then you have to show the confirmation letter from that academy, or at least the receipt that you've paid the course fee. If you're using a financial sponsor, then you need to have a affidavit signed by them stating that they will bear your expenses, and you need to give their bank statements as well. If you're showing ties to your home country like your family members, then provide their ID cards or give a family registration certificate, And the holy grail, the most important document, don't forget to submit your cover letter. Your cover letter should be extremely detailed, outline every single thing that you're going to do, outline every single piece of evidence that you're submitting in this cover letter, be extremely detailed, be extremely precise, and extremely clear when you're writing this cover letter. This is literally the make or break of your PLAB2 visa application. So there you have it, guys. 5 things to avoid when you're applying for a PLAB2 visa. I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments below if you liked it. I'm thinking of making a video on how to write a detailed cover letter. If that is something that you would be interested in, let me know and I'll help you guys out. Please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you guys in the next one.